All right, you guys, check it out. Right now, we're with the one and only Nick Rochefort.
Hey, what's going on? How is everybody doing so far?
Yeah, it's great to finally to meet you and talk to you. I know we met before. We never really had much conversation.
Yeah, you were busy. You were busy boxing, getting jacked, getting yanked. You had to beat the shit out of Ice Poseidon, which I was happy about.
Yeah, my boy.
Your boy. Yeah. He did try to fuck with me, though, in Austin, so I was...
He gave you a hard time?
Yeah, his boys gave me a hard time. Remember that when they came in? It was really funny. They were actually really funny about it, so I'm not mad about it. Yeah. So it was a good fucking with, so... Cheers to them, but I am like, cheers to you for fucking with me successfully, but also I'm glad you lost in a boxing match on live.
Yeah, he really thought he was so confident he was going to win, which was just a shock to me, to be honest. He never played a sport in his life.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Did you play a sport in your...
I wrestled for 17 years. I was ranked in college in college wrestling.
You fucking idiot!
Dude, what are you?
That's like fighting like a pro wrestler. Like when like I remember who else was on your card?
Greg Hardy.
Yeah. Who fought Greg Hardy? It wasn't like a Greg Hardy obviously won.
Greg Hardy beat the shit out of him.
Like, you don't fight pro wrestlers ever. And there was like Harley Morrison.
Oh, Harley Morrison on Crater Clash fought
like a pro wrestler, and I was like, please don't fight a pro wrestler. Like, it's just like one of those like rules in your own head as like a person who's been in fights before. Like, don't fight pro wrestlers. They're not tough. They're always tough.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it'll be good. I'm pretty good right now. And I was like, no. Yeah. I can't be friends with boxers, fighters, because it's nerve wracking. It's like
it's not for me, the whole boxing world. But yeah, I wanted to go through kind of the beginning, the inception of MD, if you will, from your memory, what you can recall. When did you and Sam first start shooting sketches together?
In like 2008, Sam was at RISD with my cousin Brian Rochefort. I needed a website for the landscaping company that I was running at the time. I had a landscaping company that was getting bigger, and I wanted a website. And Sam was like, he did motion graphics for a company. He was like just graduated college the year before, or maybe 2 years before, and he had a job making like Get Loud at like a Hartford Coliseum for like the hockey team. And he was coming to Providence to work with someone, and he met me at my office, which is not far from here, in the middle of the night. I remember he showed up. We were supposed to meet at like 8. He showed up at like 11:30 and shit, and we were in my office, and he was like, oh man, and we started talking about like shit we like, and we were like talking about, I think it was like a couple of weeks before that I had seen a couple of funny things. I was like, oh, I like Kids in the Hall. I was doing stand-up comedy. I hated it, but I like doing comedy. And then he was like, do you write sketches? I was like, I write stand-up. He was like, oh, cool. Never did a website. He dusted off. Like 6 months later, I remember I was in my landscaping company, shit was going awry. I was getting fucked up. And I was like, he calls me up. He's like, yo, do you still want to do comedy? And I was like, yeah, I do. I'm going to kill myself. And he's like, yeah, good. Then we started calling each other every day. I was at Acura. I was selling cars at Acura. I quit my landscaping company. I got enough like a fallout with my father. And then I went to go sell cars. And I was working at Acura in Boston. And we would call each other during lunch, and we would fill out a Google. It was the first time I ever worked on a Google Doc. So it was like 2008, because I remember the 2009 new body style TL was just coming in. September 2008. We were typing on this Google Doc and doing sketches, and we had 300 sketches in like 4 days. And it was like, this guy, like, this sketch. I had this, I remember like one of the ones I remember was like the Jews in the center of the earth. And it was just like Jewish guys pulling levers and be like, more 9/11s and this and that. It was like, stuff like that. And I actually, they're still in the doc somewhere. And it was like, the world's most comfortable man and stuff like that, which we ended up shooting. All these weird character driven, it was like really, elementary amateurish bullshit. But then we ended up meeting at the Clinton Crossings in Connecticut. And we pitched these sketches to each other in like a Chili's or something, in the back of a Chili's, and we stayed for like 4 hours just pitching sketches. Then I went to Mamaroneck, New York, into his apartment, and we shot this weird sketch called Dice Bro. He painted his whole apartment chroma key green. It was the one where I have shit on my face, and I did a Malbone trucking. If you ever seen that one, it's a really weird one, but it's basically just like a trucking commercial over and over again. And we shot 5 sketches in one night. And then I went home, and now it was like off and running. And then we launched them to a YouTube page, and then come move in. I'm going to foreclose on this house. I'm going to stop paying the bills. So I'll move. I have probably 12 months until the bank kicks me out of here. So I moved him and a sound girl and this girl Pia. And for like 6 months, I just like changed my whole life. I stopped going to work. We started making sketches every day. We had like one of these these shitty fucking Amazon light setups. We had a chroma key background. We would shoot sketches every day. And everybody I knew from like a previous life was like, yo, you're off the rails. Like, this is insane. But $1 Million Extreme was Sam's senior thesis at RISD. That's like, he came up with the name, and it was like a show with intro graphics. It's sort of like always been an elaboration of Sam's senior thesis. And then we just started writing sketches in '09, and then we started really putting them out and doing them every day, and trying to get as famous people as we could. That's how we thought it was going to go originally. Yeah.
Those first 5 sketches you guys did, are those still available on YouTube?
Yeah, you can probably find, like, the first ones is like Malbone's Trucking. Sam did one called, like, what's the one where he did, like, with the CDs?
They're all going to be on MD.TV, actually. They're re-uploading all the oldest stuff.
Yeah, so we're gonna re-upload it. But there was there's probably like 12 sketches that are like really primitive, like we're just like using green screen 101 shit. But no, wait, it was revolutionary. Like you're like, wait, you can put me in the sky, like it was pretty. Now you can do it on an app in an hour, but
like the Skype backgrounds.
Yeah, like that was revolutionary. Like when I found that, I'm like a retard. So when I found that, I was like, oh my god, like you can do that. There's so much things you could write around that.
Yeah.
But
I'm on Mars, I'll do an alien sketch. Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the way your mind works. You're like, all right, now I have to write as an alien. Yeah. Okay.
It was just you and Sam doing stuff together. Did any of those first sketches like catch anything that you would consider traction at that time?
Yeah. Like bass. Bass was a big one. The speakers one.
That's the first one I ever saw from you guys. The bass effects.
Yeah.
Bass.
That was like that one hit.
What year was that?
2008.
Okay. So I probably saw that in like 2013 or something. That was the first video I ever saw from you guys.
It had that was like the first one to get to like 25,000 views or like 50,000 views or something like that. And we were like, oh, well, clearly we're going to win an Oscar. It was very exciting. We're like, oh, this is cool.
That's a lot of views for early YouTube though.
It was a big, that was like the motivation, like, okay, what we're doing here is probably going to work. Then we traveled and we were shooting on the road, and we did like the wishing, these weird, we went to, we shot some shit in Maryland. We lived in Maryland. That's when I was saying I lived in Baltimore for like 3 months. And then we went to LA and did the Upright Citizens Brigade intensive, the improv theater school.
You and Sam lived in Montana?
Yeah, for like a month.
What the hell were you doing out there?
We lived in the Archie Bray Fellowship. It's like a ceramicist art house thing in the middle of nowhere that's really like cool, with all like the people in the school people in each art school who get like a fellowship, or like, hey, you're a really good potter or ceramicist, we're gonna pay for you to come. My cousin Brian, who introduced me to Sam, won the fellowship, so he lived out there for 2 years, perfecting techniques and working on ceramicists, working with different people. And they lived in Helena, Montana. And we stayed out there at his house, and we lived in the studio on the floor for like a month. And it was wild. It was really pretty, and living with like full hippies, like Montana hippies. It was dope. It was kind of dope though.
Any sketches from the Montana month?
No, I remember writing like this hay salesman one that was like weird, and like we just didn't. What the hell were we doing? I don't know. Oh no, we were editing. And we were drinking a lot. I was drinking a lot. Sam doesn't drink, but I was like getting fucking hammered every night. But it was a lot. Like, we didn't have a lot of money. We had, I think, like between us, we had like $5,000 that had to last us like basically until we ran out of money. And I was like, all right, I'll go back and sell cars or whatever.
After the foreclosed house era where Sam was living there, he went back to live with his mom, and that's when like the vertical phone era was.
Yep, that was when Sam was living in. I was living in Los Angeles, and Sam was back. Sam and Chuck were back here in Connecticut, and he lived there for like 5 years. So we lived there like on the overlap. So.
And then you guys went to LA, and
my brother moved to LA in that time.
Was that LA trip where you did the Will Sasso thing, or was that a different?
No,
that was a different LA trip.
There, like we went to LA. We went to LA and we did the UCB intensive for like a month. I don't think we shot anything. We just did that, and then we went to Texas and lived there for like I lived there for a week. I couldn't last. We were living in like a closet in a squatter's house with some punks in Dallas. It was bad. It was like real bad. And I was like, all right, I tapped out. I was like, all right. And I remember like calling my folks and be like, hey, I need a place to live. Like, I'm fucked. I'm living in like, this is bad. And they're like, all right, come home. I had enough money for a flight home. And then I flew home, and then I was home from September, October. And then in October, Will Sasso, I was hitting up like celebrities, like, hey, this is the shit we do. Hey, like just being a fucking like cold calling celebrities on Facebook. Be like, yo, this is the shit I do. This is the shit I do. This is the shit I do. Will Sasso was like, yo, this is dope. I sent him bass. I called Sam, like, Sam, I got Will Sasso. He's like, sick. Click. He was back from Texas. We drove in the middle of the night to LA.
From fucking New England?
Yep.
Jeez,
and we got there in 51 hours. It was a 51-hour drive straight. And then that's when Charles came.
Yeah.
Charles just had met Sam. I was like, oh, in the meantime, I was like, Sam, you got to meet this kid Charles. You guys both know a lot about like computers and video games and shit. You guys are going to be like you're gonna see eye to eye. And I went to kindergarten with Charles.
Yeah.
Charles went out to LA with us to see Will Sasso, and then we met up with Will Sasso in Burbank, and we were like, hey, we're gonna shoot this. This is what we planned. He was like, cool, let's shoot this. We went to his house and we shot with like the shittiest camera ever and like a fucking $10 fucking tripod. And he was like, this is what you guys shoot on? And I was like, yeah. We have no, we're bums. And we shot that sketch that we did with Will Sasso. Then we were like, oh, well, another win, and then we shot that. And Will was always awesome to us after that. I mean, that was really below him to be doing that.
Yeah. Shout out to Will Sasso.
Yeah. For him to, like, I was like, yo, because it wasn't like that far after Mad TV was off the air. It's not like a bored old SNL guy at the time. Will's not that old either. Will's like, he's like only like 8 years older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was in media so young, you didn't realize that he started when he was like 18 or 19. Like he was on Mad TV when he was like 20 or 19.
I know this is backtracking a bit, but there's some video that I vaguely remember of you guys like at some drug dealer's house.
That's Texas.
That was from the Texas era?
Yeah, we were in Texas for like a week, yeah. And we're squatting in a fucking place. It was like, it was the fucking hoodest shit.
Was it that house?
Yeah.
Because I've always wondered, like, what the hell is the lore behind that video?
Like, how like you see those like double-decker, like they look like they could be a motel almost, but they're apartments?
Yeah.
They're like where like fucking pedophiles go to fucking like live when they get kicked out of like apartment houses. Like everybody, like it was like, they were probably collecting rent in like 10 of the units out of like 140. Ooh. It was probably like one of those where they bought the whole thing for like 300,000 and they were probably collecting like just enough rent to make money, and then everybody else was just squatting. Because I remember like sleeping there one of the nights and it was like 100 degrees. It was the end of August and I was like, yo, it's so fucking hot. I think I flew home on my birthday. So it was like August like 10th. And I lived there for like 10 days. And I remember like sleeping on a couch with like I was like 24 and it was all like 20-year-old dudes, like 22. And I had already fucking like owned a house. So I'm like I'm like unk to these kids already. And I'm like, this is fucking, but all those kids were like they were all drug dealers. And then we went to this drug dealer that was like living next door. He's like, yeah, come on in. Come on. And he lived in the unit next door with his like trap ass girlfriend. And they were like, but as soon as you pulled a camera out in the fucking plaza, everybody was like, hey, what y'all doing? Oh, hey. And it was like, oh, it was kind of fun actually.
Yeah. They had pit bulls and shit.
Yeah. Just like orange Monte Carlos like spinning around. That's when we shot like the DJ Chaos video was shot there as well. But you couldn't go anywhere because we were shooting inside this shitty ass apartment complex. It was hell on earth.
So you guys get the collaboration with Will Sasso, and then not long after, Charles comes into the fold, and you guys do the first one with Charles, which was the Dr. Manslave.
Yeah, that stuff starts going on. I got approved for unemployment, I remember, for a year and a half. For $600 a week. It was nuts because I was making like $90,000 a year selling Acuras. And they're like, yeah, it was when like it was the 08 collapse, 09. And they were giving out unemployment like crazy. And they're like, yeah, you're approved for 57 weeks at $600 a week. And I was like, yo, I got nothing to do. So I ended up buying a crack house from my boy for $20,000.
Naturally.
And I ended up cashing all my checks from unemployment and paying him with the money for that. And that's where we shot Manslave. That was like the first, we shot the one in the pipes where I was the cop and Chuck and Sam showed up, shaved half his fucking head, and it was like we had just started shooting with Chuck, and then I met my wife soon thereafter.
Yeah, how do you look back on those early days of MD? It had to be pretty exciting, right? Like getting the big collab with Will, and then Charles comes into the fold. You guys you want it so bad. You've probably so much it was excitement.
Look, I was a fucking car salesman. I was a college football player and I had a landscaping company. And like, I was like thinking I was going to go this trajectory, like small business owner, turf pro hat, that kind of shit. Yeah. Everybody knows that guy. I was that guy. Oh yeah. And then I was like, nah, I'm going to myself. Like I'm literally, and I kind of like made a deal. I was going to like drive my truck into a fucking tree. And then I was like, I'm either going to kill myself today, or I'm going to do exactly what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I always wanted to be a writer, like a comedy writer. Like I didn't want to do stand up. I wanted to be like write for SNL. That's what I thought I wanted to do. And then Sam literally hit me up like 2 days after I was like I sort of checked myself into a mental institution for myself. Yeah. And
looking at the rafters, like swinging from those. It looks pretty good.
I remember I went to a mental hospital and then walked in and realized like this is retarded. Yeah. I like calmed down.
I had a similar experience.
Did you?
Yeah, because I went to the psych ward in 2022, and the day I got there, I regretted it so much. Yeah. They wouldn't let me leave.
Yeah.
They would not let me leave.
They let me leave because I talked them out of it. Like they wouldn't let me leave, and then they let me leave.
I was trying to reason with them, like, I'm actually cool. Like, I actually don't want to hurt myself.
They started with that, and then I was like, just get the manager here. Listen, and And then I attributed the mania to coffee. I was drinking like 5 Splendas in my coffee. And my doctor was like, what do you eat? And I was like, I wake up every day and I have a large Dunkin' Donuts fucking coffee with 5 Splendas. He's like, it's that. And it was the coffee would peak me out at 10 o'clock and I would fucking just punch my steering wheel. I'd have like just flipping out. I just had one just like right before you guys got here. I did it today. I had 2 coffees today and I had like the tubes in my eye. You ever like eat too much coffee and you get like the flex in your eyes?
This guy.
Yeah. I had that happen. It happens like once I forget that I had a coffee and I have another one because we'd be at 2 places.
One coffee too many.
Yeah. And just one. That's all it takes. I'm punching the steering wheel. So I was like, and that's kind of like the deal I made. I was like, listen, I want to write comedy. And then like Sam literally hit me. It was kind of like kismet. It was like, all right, listen, I want to do this. Let's do this like professionally. And he kind of had like I don't know how to do that. I'm like cutting grass and managing like fucking, teams of like putting pavers down and shit. And it was working for the most part. Like that was working good for me. But when I was doing stand up, I had won a contest and I bombed in front of Kyle Dunnigan and I was like, I can't do this. I don't have the gumption to like be like this comic. And stand up wasn't what it is today. It was like weirder. I wanted to write sketches. Sketches was the shit. And so did Sam. So once we started, I felt very comfortable and we were kind of friends and that was it.
So you team up with Chuck. MD is officially formed, right?
Yep.
And the way we know it today. And then what was some of the first sketches from you guys as a trio that actually caught traction in your memory?
I think Manslave was really weird for people like, oh, this is interesting because it was like storytelling. Chuck and Eric Hayden are the 2 funniest kids from my childhood that I would have been like, who would you have those friends where you're like, oh, I'm doing YouTube, I should bring these 2 funny friends.
They're hilarious.
They are hilarious. Like Eric's always been like TV ready funny. I've known that. And Charles has been like geniusly hilarious. Like when I found them again, they had a thing called Black Country and Joy. Mm-hmm. And I remember like distinctly making a note like, wow, what a weird name. $1 Million Extreme, Black Country and Joy. Like what a weird that they both had like a weird name for like their group. Even though that was kind of a thing, like Lonely Island was the thing or whatever. But rather than like their names, I thought that was strange that they did that. And their videos were fucking insane and funny. And they were very like, oh, perfect. They're going to totally understand how to do this. And they did. Then we kind of met up and, it was like old hat. Like we were in 7th and 8th grade. And then it was that one. And then we started to shoot Tissue Box, which was like our first pilot essentially. Before that, the first like year and a half, we had worked pretty hard on like getting an edit of all the videos that we shot, like Sam and I, and we were like working our ass off to get that in like Tim Heidecker's hands. Sam would like edit through the night to get like a DVD burned to get overnighted to a guy who was gonna be next to Tim Heidecker supposedly in Los Angeles. And we handed him the DVD and he probably fucking threw it away right away. Like, what the fuck is this? Not a good way to do it. And then after that, we started shooting like, I think we did the street interviews. That went pretty well. The New York street interviews, the Brooklyn hipster shit.
Yeah.
That went
with the fashion.
Yeah, the Brooklyn that went really well. We went to go visit our friend Ryan Stack in Brooklyn. We're like, we're gonna shoot some videos. I think we went out there to shoot pickups for Tissue Box in New York, and we started doing these street interviews while we were there fucking around, and they were funny.
Williamsburg,
and it was like shooting fish in a barrel. It was like we were like fucking around, and like the first one we did was like mad funny. And I was like, let's just keep doing this. And then we stayed for an extra day just doing that.
Yeah, those are so good.
It was like when hipster then was like, finger mustache. And like, it was before everybody started. It was like pre Portlandia hipster. Mm-hmm. So like, and we had known what that was because it was called Thunder Ant. Portlandia was called Thunder Ant before it was Portlandia. Skewering hipsters was on the docket. In Brooklyn, it was like Fixed Gear Bikes, Jared Leto. We were dying. And then we were rewatching the footage and we were like, this is going to be really funny. And it was, it was fun.
You guys did these, or I know at least one, you guys did a car video where you went to like a car show and Sam had the all blue on and you guys were fucking with people.
Yep.
Was that around that same time?
Same time. Yeah, that was like...
That's a classic.
That was fun. That was in Fall River, which is like Portuguese fucking heaven. Like all Portuguese, like, hey, you just got to love people and be yourself. And like, another place where you pull a camera out and they're like, hey, what are you doing? It's like people like chasing us around. They're fun to do. Like honestly, I don't know why we don't do more of them because they're super fun. We do them now at Brimfield.
Yeah. Hey, you making a movie?
What are you making a movie? Put me in it.
At Brimfield.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yo.
Okay. Then we just turn the camera to them. Okay. Go.
No, I haven't.
I didn't expect you. Well, actually, you know what happened with me one time? My boy was actually like that kind of shit. Yeah. We used to have a sketch called "If I Had a Show, I'd fucking," and it's like, go ahead. If you had a show, you'd fucking what?
What do you want me to say?
What you said you were gonna say. If you had a show, you would fucking what? just let them go, and they're always like.
Yeah.
Like their heads explode. So anybody making videos, if anybody's fucking with you, that's a good one to. Okay, go ahead. You turn the camera on. Go ahead. You got 5 minutes. Go. I'm from LA. I'll cut you a check for $1 million if it's good.
We deal with that all the time in the hood. Where like the loudest guy in the hood is like, put the camera on me. You put it on him. He's like, fuck the ops. And then there's nothing else.
Brilliant.
And I'm like, dude, is it more? And he's like, more questions. Ask more questions. I'm like, dude, what do you want to
What's the
say?
worst crime you've ever committed? What's your mailing address?
Where'd you get your gun?
What's the serial number of your gun?
Can you show it to me?
Do you have a driver's license? Why not?
What kind of drugs are you dealing?
What bills have you paid on time? Give me a round number what you think your credit score might be. I don't need credit, street credit. Yeah, that's wild that you do that. I can't believe you delve into that.
Oh yeah, I'm a thug at heart. You can see it.
I know.
You can see it in my eyes.
I know. They know.
Yeah, everyone knows. Well, in my recollection, one of the first videos of the like MDE when you all three were together that caught my attention because I saw the base video when it was just you and Sam, and then I saw College Cunts. What year was College Cunts?
That was College Cunts was before Tissue Box. It was College Cunts that we were shooting when we went to New York, not Tissue Box.
That caught traction, right?
That caught traction. That was a big project. That was sort of like, because that was the point where Adult Swim started talking to us. Like someone from Adult Swim office reached out to us and they're like, give us a packet. And then we sort of like formulate how to get a show. Sam and I picked up like, okay, you have to like package it. They're not going to like take like a sketch, or they're not going to take like you have to elaborate on a premise, because it would always be like, it's a show, but what is it? And it's like, it's a sketch show like Kids in the Hall. They were like, not enough. And I'm like, why isn't that enough? Like, I don't understand. It's 3 guys that make sketches with beat shit actors on the street and other stuff sort of like that with animations and graphics, which is what it is now, and it's what it always has been. But saying that in 2011 was like saying you wanted like Mexican fucking tire food. And they were like, what's tire food now? It was just, it's like it made no sense to them. It was like saying like a fucking speaking Chinese to them. That was when they're like, all right, we'll do, I think that was when we started to do like longer format. Like here's a pilot, here's a 12 minute, here's a quarter hour. And that's when I first understood what a quarter hour was, back when those were sort of hot.
So what year did College Cunts release?
12, maybe like 11 or 12. Yeah, because it was pre-moving. I moved to LA in 13, 14, 15, 16. I moved to LA. And we had flown out to LA with Tissue Box and Tissue Box 2 in the wrapper, or in the wrapped. So that we shot College Cunts, that did well. And then we started shooting Tissue Box at a local public access studio in Rhode Island, Peg, Rhode Island it's called. And that was like our first like episode. So we used their facilities to make a pilot. I think College Cunts might have been like the first, or maybe we released the New York interviews, and those, one of them got like, I think it was like our first 100,000 hit video. It got picked up on like whatever the fucking like hipster of the time, like 13. What was the no, it was like might have been like, who's the guy who canceled us? You were like Gawker. I think Gawker picked it up.
Gawker, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a big deal. It was like we were like, yeah, Vice. Yeah, they got. Well, they talked about they had all those pedophiles working there, didn't they?
Yeah.
They would constantly hit me up and try to sell me child. All the staff from there was like, I have lots of terabytes of child to sell.
What's up?
From Gawker. Before they went out of business. I was like, what are you calling me? And they're like, this is what we do here at Gawker.
But College Cunts is such a classic. You have so many good lines in that. You have the look at my hands, now tell me what my dick looks like. That one. You're shirtless on the railroad.
Yeah.
You're talking about, you're on the rooftop and you're talking about, a woman who didn't take her tampon out and had it shoved into her cervix like a muzzle loader.
Yeah, I feel like everybody has that story. Yeah. There's like a lot of girls who are like, I left a tampon in story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I do. I know a lot of those girls' stories. I don't know. I think it was just like, good smoking weed days before weed got totally shitty.
So you moved to LA. Did Sam and Charles didn't move with you to LA?
No, they stayed here. I moved to LA after that. So my wife, I had met my girlfriend. I met her in 2010, and then like we lived in. She had a condo. I had a house, and then Sam moved into my crack house. I moved in with Jess. Jess got a job offer like 2 years into our relationship to move to California and like get rent paid. It was like a big job, and they were like, "Hey, we'll pay you like $270,000 a year to move out there, and we'll pay for your rent." Yeah, it was like a big deal. She was like a buyer one, and it was like a big jump. It was like, hey, we have no one in this California buying office. Do you want to move out here? We'll pay your rent. We'll pay for your car. We'll pay for your phone, and you can move out here for 3 years. And then after 3 years, you can stay, but you pay for it. I was like, just say yes to that. And we had just started to talk to Adult Swim, and we had gone like the month before. So we shot College Cunts. We shot Tissue Box. A guy from Adult Swim, Scott Little, calls us up, and he's like, yo, we fuck with you guys. We want to meet with you. We were like, again, click, Drove right to LA again, another 50 hours. Drove right there. Get there on a Monday morning. We left on a Saturday in Sammy Subaru. Drove there. My wife books us hotel rooms on her credit points because she's like a buyer, so she's traveling. So we book a hotel room for like 3 days. We get to the Adult Swim office on Monday morning. No one's corresponding back to us. At the time, I had happened to be playing Words with Friends with the president of Adult Swim, Keith Crawford. And I'm messaging him like, yo, I make sketches shows. Fuck with me. And he's like, all right, that's how it got. We'll put you in touch with Scott Little. Scott Little reaches out, hey, we're going to take a meeting with you. That's how it happened. We get there. No one's hitting me back. Now we're like, yo, we're in California. We're driving. I got rooms booked on my wife's car. I'm pissed off. And now I'm back to like retard. And I'm like, I'll blow the building up. And I hit up Keith Crawford. I'm like, yo, we're here. We drove here 50 hours. Where the fuck is Scott Little? And he's like, he got fired this weekend.
Oh, no.
And I was like, you're fucking kidding me. He brought some rapper in. I forget who it was. Some rapper showed up to the Adult Swim office and he was like drinking and smoking in the Burbank office. And he got fired like that night. So now we're there with no rep. We're just three fuckheads in the lobby of Adult Swim. And we're talking to the president of the network through Words with Friends chat. And now I'm like, yo, I probably have the email in my original email. And I'm like, this is not going to happen. Like I'll blow the building up.
You guys like terrorism?
Yeah. I was ready to die 3 years ago. I made a deal with myself. The second it stops being fun, I kill myself and anybody around me. That's the deal I made. Yeah. So then we were like, all right, you're going to meet with Walter Newman. And then we got a meeting. And it went well, but it was a weird meeting. Like we had construction paper. Like we had no fucking idea what we were doing. Like no idea. But we had shot the Tissue Box, but Tissue Box looked a lot like Eric Andre's show. And he's like, yo, this is so crazy. We showed it to him. And they were like, yeah, we shot this. And they were like, this is so weird. We're literally shooting something that looks just like this. Is even fun. This is even funnier than some of the shit. And I think it was just like a common idea, like one of those, like, you know, like you parallel thinking.
Yeah, like when Tosh.0 started fucking reacting to fucked up internet videos. I feel like everyone like had that same thought.
Yeah, and it was like, hey, let's use a public access studio and fuck with people and like have an absurdist sort of like late night on coke or whatever, or acid. And then they were like, let's get something going. Vague. So
you get the meeting with Adult Swim, and nothing really comes of it, right?
No, we think it's like, oh, it's in the bag. We're gonna get a show.
It's a done deal in your mind.
Yeah. Like I'm, as a competitive steroid freak retard car salesman, I'm going to get it. Like I clearly have the TV show now. And I'm like, yeah, awesome. We got it. Like we leave. I think we had like lunch with Will Sasso and Chad Kulchin. And we're like, yeah, man, we met with him. It's going pretty good, man. I remember we met with Tommy Blacha, who's the creator of Metalocalypse. And he's like, yeah, man, we're pretty much like in the same ecosystem now. So yeah, I met with Walter, met with the team. Yeah, we're pretty good. Like we were so fucking jazzed. So we stayed like a next night. And then we're like, well, I remember calling my wife and be like, hey, yo, she's a girlfriend still. I'm like, yo, we can't leave. So you probably want to put an extension. On the hotel room. She's like, well, I have like 4 more days of points. No big deal. She extends it. We call them.
Like, don't worry about the money.
It's honestly coming in soon. Yeah. So we should have a check like, I don't know, this week. That's how I think TV shows work. And I remember calling them like on the following Friday, like that we went on a Monday. I'm calling them on a Friday, and they're like, "What are you guys still doing here?" And I was like, "What?" They were like, "Yeah, like this is gonna take like months." And I was like, "What's gonna take months? Just give us a check and we'll start working now." And they were like, "No, it doesn't work. Like we have buying season, and we have we put you on the slate as a potential buy, and then we pitch you as like a potential thing we want to buy." And I was like, "Oh no!" So we stayed like 5 days too long. We drove home. That might have been that 5 days might be 10 days. That might have been like 10 days. We're living in like I remember the hotel Charles and I were smoking weed on the balcony everywhere. And we're like still high on all this stuff. Nothing comes of it for a long time. We go home, we're like writing shit for them, we're submitting shit. They're kind of like Xing and Oing our shit at this point. Not giving us a show still. And then they gave us $5,000 to do a bunch of videos. We went down to Atlanta and a group of dudes, Andy Ruse and Derek King, set up like a pro film set for us, and we shot 4 or 5 sketches. We shot Moms.
That one's so good.
That's a fun time. We shot Murder Charles and some other weird shit like the Johnny. We shot down there.
Johnny likes it rough.
yeah, that kind of shit. So that was our first time we were like, oh, this is like a real. This isn't like no more of this shit. This was like fucking typical film kids renting like. They had like student access to the film set, so they were running like Jennies and big lights and shit. I was like, wow, this is crazy. So we shot that stuff. In the meantime, so we had proven that we can make fancy looking sketches on nice cameras. And then they gave us $5,000 to shoot basically as much as we could. At this point, now I'm living in Los Angeles. Now, this is like, cuts to like 6 months later. Now I'm like living there. As soon as you move out there, I'm like, hey, I got my friends coming out. So I had like 5 fucking motherfuckers living on my living room floor for like 3 months on my like wife's like $3,900 a month beach house that we rented. And she's like, when is everybody leaving? I'm like, when we're done, babe, when the job's done. But we had like Will, he was shooting those. So we shot like proof of concept for them twice. They gave us $5,000 and we shot a ton of stuff. We shot like Kid 6, the metal band, the Extreme, like that stuff. We shot the one with the 4-wheelers, the Smokane 3. Smokane 2 was one of the first videos too with Charles. Yeah. And then we shot a bunch of stuff and then they gave us $15,000 and we shot like even more shit. So basically we're at this point, we're like, see how much stuff we can shoot for $15,000? Imagine if you gave us $1 million. It was like 6 months after that, they flew us to Atlanta, and then we got the pilot.
So this is like 2015, the pilot happened?
Like 2015, yeah. They were like, all right, we're going to fly you guys to Atlanta. Then we met with Mike Lazo, Keith Crawford, and the whole table. I'm like, yeah, we'll do a pilot with you. And I was like, yeah. And that was like the big, celebratory back in Atlanta day, and that was fun. And then we shot a pilot, lived out there for like a month shooting a pilot, and then they picked it up for 6 episodes.
And what was that feeling when you actually, after years and years of work, got the green light to officially do it, Adult Swim show?
Crying like a fucking, calling my dad, telling him it's going to be all right. I was pumped. I was so pumped. I was like NFL lineman after the Super Bowl. Yeah. Like jazzed as shit. I remember being like, oh, clearly I have 10 seasons. like, oh, cool, I have that. What else can I do? Like being just keeping the fucking foot on. But it was really good. I was like, oh, we're going to get a pilot that can't take it away now. The guy said it. So, because they really leave you in the limbo. You know what I mean? Like, you never really know where you stand with any of these fucking executives.
You guys were in limbo for years, it seemed like.
It was like, it was probably like, kind of like a year and a half of like jerking off for like 10, 15 grand, like, $15,000, 5,000 of your own money that you don't even really have. You know, when you lived in toil before it was ever making $1.
Oh yeah. How
long did you work before you made $1?
2 years before I broke even on my channel.
Oh, cool. Yeah, because I remember it was probably like 8 or 9 years before we ever got $1.
That's insane.
And then Chad Kulchin gave us $2,500 to couple with Adult Swim's $5,000. So shout out to Chad Kulchin, who's Will Smith and Dudesy, and he wrote a show called Bad Judge on CBS. And I remember seeing his paychecks, and I'll be like, "Yo, that's your paycheck?" He's like, 8 weeks of that, baby. And I was like, "Yo!" Like that was like and we used to go and hang out at his house and watch The Bachelor. And now he wrote a book. He wrote the book on The Bachelor, and he's like the. But anyway, he was like a first G to like give us money and not. He's like, I don't even want it back. I just want to be able to work with you in some capacity in the future. But I don't know if you'd want to be known to be wanting to work with us now. I don't know if you'd want to. I understand if you. But we're still friends to this day. But I understand if you want to disassociate yourself from us.
Reach out.
Yeah, reach out.
So how was the filming of season 1? Like, how was that experience?
It was cool. It was shit. I remember just drinking a lot and smoking a lot of weed. Atlanta's a city for fat drunks. Atlanta's like a great city to drink and eat. This food is really good. People hated us. Like they hated our guts. Like the entire network did. They were like really. They're like, are you guys really Nazis? And I was like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you guys serious? Like guys like you, like normal cool guys who would be in your, like you'd hang out with, like, dude, are you seriously a Nazi, bro? And I'm like, bro,
give it to me straight.
Yeah, come on, man. I'm cool.
Yeah.
But I'm like, is this fucking real right now? He's like, no, I saw the tattoo. They're talking about the West Coast Choppers Maltese cross tattoo I have on the top of my neck that I got because it was DK bikes and I used to ride BMX. And that's why he's like, yeah, that's definitely a white power symbol. And I'm like, yeah, man, it sure is. It's so white power. I thought I could do a tail whip over a dirt jump on it. Yeah, man, I was really thinking of throwing a Roman salute in the middle of my no-hander, you fucking retard. But yeah, it was a lot like that, where they were like, yeah, man, these guys just say like really rough around the edges shit. And because during the pilot, we were like letting like fly and shit. It was really when, like, if you remember 2016, like pre-Trump era,
yeah,
everybody was, it was really like the first time where it was like, if you say faggot, you might as well be put in the electric chair.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to know the other words you're saying, but I know you're saying them.
Worse than being a murderer.
It's worse than being a murderer.
Literally.
That word is like a silver arrow.
Yeah.
Oh God, what they had to deal with is so ridiculous. And it was like that. It was literally like that.
Yeah, and you guys just weren't bending the knee, so they hated that.
Yeah, it was like, guys, shut up. And then like the girl saying that was like trying to suck all our dicks. Like the girl that was doing the most bitching was literally trying to fuck all of us. She's wearing bodysuits with no bra or underwear to set. And then as soon as we started saying like, she was like, they can't say that. And I was like, don't you feel weird for blowing? I remember seeing her at like upfronts, and she took a Tinder date who was like 19 years old. She was like 30 and she took a Tinder date who was 19.
Progressive.
Yeah. And I was like, yo.
Was she the woman that tried to break into the...
Yes.
That was her?
Yes. So there was like basically this like harem of like, she ran like Atlanta Queer Skate, which was like a skateboard team for queers so they could try to ollie on nothing.
Wait, do we know this woman's name, or should we just keep it out of it?
People find it. People know who she is. She's probably gonna fucking kill herself. Who gives a shit? I hope she does. I hope she fucking blows her fucking head off, you dumb fucking cunt.
We could shit on people so hard in this video. There's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah. No, all right, then fuck her. Okay. Yeah, I actually don't even remember her name. I honestly don't. Her name's oh yeah. Yeah. Her name's the most forgettable, stupid name. Yeah. But it was just basically a harem of like sympathizers that were just like, these guys are bad news, and it's like, yeah, okay. And now they're probably like, married to fucking construction workers and living like a totally normal life. They're probably at a fucking Hitler Youth rally right now.
So yeah, the show is released. It was received very well. Over 1 million live viewers on the first episode. I think it's the same as on the last as well, right?
Yep. Yeah, I think it went like, it's supposedly like you want it to do that. Like it's very common that it does that, and then if it goes up at all, or if it just doesn't go down, but if it does like a nice Nike swoop, that's like you're getting another season. That like in a ratings, if you ever want to like chart a ratings for a show, that's usually what they want. And then after that, the ratings were good. Once they started getting like blowback inside, that's when kind of shit started to go off the rails.
Because initially Mike Laza was saying he wanted 10 seasons of it and they loved it so much and all this, right?
We were waiting for renewal. Like we were basically like, I was living in LA. Since then I had moved back. I had bought a house in Southbridge, Mass. So after the season was finished, I went home to LA, packed my shit, moved back to Massachusetts. So I'm sitting in Massachusetts. The show's launched. We're basically waiting for our 20 episode deal. It wasn't a lot of money. It was like $73,000 or $90,000 for like 6 episodes plus pilot. It took us 5 months to live in Atlanta. They gave you $4,000 total to live down there for 5 months. Now, I like to drink. I think I left with 40 grand and I bought my antique store, but it wasn't a lot of money because I was making like $110 a year selling Acuras in Boston. You know what I mean? Like I get why Adult Swim is progressive, because they pay a bunch of fucking fat comic book kids like their first $90,000 a year job to not like jerk off and pop zits in their own mouth. Like I get it. Like you have a harem of like fat that are so excited to have a show on TV that are like, and actually Hulk Hogan actually didn't tour with the Macho Man. I don't know if you know that, but Alf was actually created on the back end of Batman Returns.
Yeah, sweet.
Dude. Like that's cool. How hard do you beat it? Hard. Hey. Yeah.
What kind of porn do you watch?
Don't ask. Hentai. No, I don't. And it's just like that's kind of like the culture of the place.
Oh yeah, wait. So I wanted to backtrack a little bit. So there was an era where you and Sam were selling cars at the same dealership, right?
There was an era when we first met, when he first moved in with me, like way back to like 2009, before we took off. Like we lived in my shitty house that we were going to foreclose on for a year, and he went and sold cars at Toyota in my group. It was Prime Auto Group, and they had a Toyota dealership. He went and worked at the Toyota dealership.
How was Sam as a car dealer?
He was good. He was like more. I think we were like into like we had just started becoming like really good friends, and we were like, what do I need according to you? You know what I mean, to like make this palatable, because we are two different people, you know. And I was like, this will help like your people skills. Like it'll like knock, like everybody should sell cars once in their life to like knock down your anxieties about like, it's like public speaking courses and stuff like that, or acting classes. It'll like take away the anxiety of like, or the of life where you're like, I'm nervous around people. It's understandable. I'm not going to bust your balls, but cars sales are a really good one to be like, go ahead, go be a fucking 30 days in a row and make no money and sit at a desk where you're like, never mind. Like you just won't do it. Like the human being will be like, so you're looking for a car, you know, like, and it helps people. It really does. Just because I've told other people to do it before, and Sam did well. You know, he didn't like it, but because he was selling Toyotas in West Roxbury, the Toyota store that we actually owned was a fucking pit.
Someone by the name of Joe Bernstein is writing a BuzzFeed article in an attempt to get you guys canned, right?
Yeah.
You remember hearing about that, or which memory?
Yeah, that was like when it was like, hey, we're getting some negative feedback, and I was like, who cares? You know, we always like. That was in like the Don't Feed the Trolls era. And I was like, who gives a shit? I don't know. Don't really care about it. I did say, I was like, I'm going to call him.
Because he wants to do an interview with Sam.
Yep.
For his article.
And I remember like there was an email thread coming out about the, then they started to come, that Adult Swim started to come back like, don't say anything. And I'm like, why? And then they started to be like a little, like, I could see sort of like the writing on the wall where they were like, and this is like after the meeting where they said they were going to do 20 episodes with us or 100 episodes or whatever. They were like, so we're still riding high. I'm like, listen, let's not fuck anything up. Let's chill. Let's just listen to them. But then they started being like, you guys are just fucking it up for yourselves. And I'm like, you guys kind of hate us, huh? Like,
Yeah.
Like there's one of the emails you can see like where I kind of like come loose and I'm like this, you gave us no fucking money for marketing. Now we're fucking for standing up for ourselves and saying like, it's not like that. Everybody should be scared. Like no sacred cows in comedy. Everybody gets slaughtered. It's the rule. Everybody's on the plate. Everything, everybody. That's fairness. Should be always. And like they were like, nah, just like it's not a good time right now. And like kind of like threatening, like that. You know when people are like, I wouldn't do that if I were you. And
Are you sure?
Yeah,
you sure about that?
Ooh, and then like it was like as soon as they started to talk like that, like the emails went like that, and then they started to do like that like threatening like shit.
You have those emails?
Yeah.
Would it be messed up if we put them in here?
No, put them in. But there's a part where they basically start getting like threatening and like shit that no normal man would put up with. Where you're like this, okay, you guys fucking hate our guts.
Yeah.
Like clearly you fucking hate us. A girl tried to break into the fucking office and throw water on a fucking, like, you've had like multiple quote attacks where if this shit is, it's like fucking insanity. You've done nothing to like protect us. You did no marketing whatsoever. You did 2 commercials for us, two blips. That's all we got. You guys are like, they were launching other shows at the time that fucking sucked cock, and they were like giving them like interviews and fucking bringing them out and doing like, you know, upfront, like bringing them out. Just these guys are getting the red carpet rollout, and we're getting fucking dogged out.
Yeah, Brett Gelman gets a show.
Yeah, that was real good. It did well for them.
Fucking cocksucker, dude.
Yeah, he's really cool. His girlfriend, his wife who fucks her brother. Didn't you meet your wife at a fucking sex cult in LA? Call me a lie. Sue me for lying. Don't you go to fucking sex clubs with your wife, you fucking loser?
Let's bring up the documents, Brett.
Yeah, Brett, what did you do, Brett? But like him, yeah, Brett Gelman's this fucking idiot.
Trying to ruin your life. Him, Tim Heidecker, and fucking Bernstein all trying to fuck you over. And a guy named Vic Berger.
Yeah, Vic Berger, he's cool. Vic Berger gets paid a lot. He still hangs around with Tim. Tim's the hot shot. He gets paid a lot of money. He's been with his boy for 10 years. Vic, what did you claim last year in your taxes? Did Tim pay you a lot of money to do office hours? How much money does he pay you to live in Los Angeles? Does he pay you more than 190 grand? I bet you he doesn't. I want to know how much money Tim Heidecker pays Vic Berger.
Yeah, reach out, Vic. Come on the show, Vic.
Does Tim pay you, that good guy, Mr. Good Guy? You got Doug, him and Doug doing working around being running bitch for years. Only when the studio gives them a budget, Tim probably sops it all up. I can only imagine how the budget runs, but no, of course I'm always going to be bitter. You try to fucking eat my life. I have kids, you fucking sick fuck. Fucking piece of shit. I'm a married man.
You did the classic life ruination tactic. And in a way, I mean, it worked at the time.
Yeah, it did. No, they won. I was drinking every day. I was fucking depressed. Thank God I didn't have any kids at the time. I was just a married guy. Just bought a house together. And
they pulled the rug out from under you. What are you thinking when you hear it is 100% canceled?
I remember I had a miscarriage with my wife the same day.
Oh.
I had a miscarriage in the hospital in Massachusetts.
That's real?
Yeah. And it was like that day, and then I get a phone call. She's like this, the heartbeat is dead. I'm like this, you're kidding me. Walter's calling. He's like this, hey man, we're done. I was like this, yeah! Like literally so we get in the car, we don't even go home. We're at Worcester Mass General Hospital. I go, I don't care how much this costs. I had like 30,000 left over in my bank account. I was like, I'm gonna drink until we're dead tonight. We rented a room at the Mount Washington Hotel. We listened to Alice in Chains Spotify the whole way up there, and we stayed in the hotel and got fucking hammered for 2 straight days.
Down in the hole.
Yeah. No. We just turned ourselves into Lane Staley's corpse. Sometimes life just makes you suck a fucking devil's dick for 5 hours while it pisses in your mouth.
Yeah.
And that was one of those days. I mean, it teaches you a lot about life and resilience and stuff like that, because that was I've had a few bad days recently, but that was the worst. That was bad. It was like, I knew it was coming. The writing was on the wall, but people could get mad and like say, oh, Sam should have shut his mouth. Like, no, he shouldn't have. We shouldn't have been treated like that. There was no protection on our end. You guys brought a show in. You knew what you were getting into when the pilot was in. In fact, we were worse in the pilot than we were in the show. You guys like totally knew what you were buying into. You got the humor. You knew it was funny. And now you're begging to sort of get back there in some way. Aaron Magruder is smart enough to know how to run it, who you worship and who deserved, was good. There was just no, you knew how fucked up you're listening to your trans 1% in the office, and like your kowtowing to these fucking mentally unstable fucking pussies that you eventually fired 3 weeks later. Yeah, it was brutal. And Brett Gelman, like the most untalented fucking pick-me guy you've ever seen in your life, who's worthless. You're listening to him, like Tim, I understand a little bit. Brett Gelman,
shit is unreal.
He's the most unbelievable guy.
Brett's like, oh, sorry about your kid and your life being ruined, but you're a bad guy.
I have no room in my life for hate. I paint my nails. I'm fucking disgusting. His wife would let him burn in a fucking barrel if she could get 3 stars higher on IMDb, if that was even a thing anymore.
Meanwhile, imagine how hateful you have to be to try to get someone's whole like life dream ruined.
And I'm gonna overplay my celebridom for getting like a bit part on a Netflix show where I get to drink with children.
Careful, Nick. He'll talk about you on his podcast.
Oh yeah, I know.
Upwards of 20 people might hear that, so you gotta watch your mouth.
Oh yeah, should we shout out Brett's new podcast? I saw he's getting like 80 to 120 views on it.
He's getting over 85 views to watch his wife tell stories about how she fucks rich guys who offend her about saying their dog's ears are clipped.
Yeah, Brett, reach out, man. Let's collab. I want to collab with Brett.
He's doing really well. He's probably the first guy at any Netflix preview for Stranger Things. He's like there to get the free food. Like they're like, yeah, Brett's here already, guys. What do you want me to do? Do we open the doors for him? I mean, we said 6 o'clock. It's 5:50. He's here already. Oh, and now like I puffed out. It was. I think he's wearing see-through mesh shirts. He's completely disgusting. Yeah, who the hell's in the bathroom? His girlfriend's fucking crawling around on her knees with wheels on them. I think Ben Avery said it best, his spooky Halloween wife. I'm gonna love it.
Yeah, it's been 10 years, Brett. The tides have shifted.
Yeah, it turns out,
You're not winning anymore.
Yeah, it turns out 49-year-old men with fucking painted fingernails talking about other guys fucking your... Why even bother getting married?
At that point, yeah.
Why bother getting married if you're going to watch your wife get hauled off in by like tech bros because she's, that skinny pelvis, her coarse pubic hair and her skinny pelvis. She's so fucking ugly too. And their song, oh God, it's just a mess. I love it. You have no shame, you people.
Yeah.
You people.
Yeah. The show gets canceled. There was a dark period, right? Where like, I know Charles went back to construction.
Yep.
Sam started the Hide Wars thing and just started doing that behind a paywall because they nuked your guys' YouTube channel and his Twitter and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What did you do right after the show was canceled for the next like year or two?
Yeah, I opened an antique shop, which is a terrible idea. Opening an antique shop is like saying it was like liking women and then opening a gynecology office. No, this is not what I want. And it's like, oh, I have an infection in here and it's pustules. And you're like, you're just throwing up inside cunts all day. So 15% of the people, I opened an antique shop. It was like a self-owned 3,000 square foot owner shop, just myself. And I was buying, it was okay. I bought cool shit. I did well for myself, but it wasn't cutting the mustard. And then when Jess got knocked up for real and we knew it wasn't going to be a dead baby like we were having, I was like, I have to get my life together. Like no more drinking craft beers and popping fucking cysts in my armpits from having I never knew I had a brewer's yeast. I can't drink IPAs because they give me like cysts in my armpits and
yeast cysts.
Yeast cysts. It's disgusting.
Never even heard of that.
Yeah, I had so I was drinking so much when I was shooting the pilot. I came home with like a blown out. There's like cystal acne. I was sticking needles near my asshole to pop these cysts, and I had a real heavy alcohol problem. Not like bad, but I was drinking often, like 5 nights a week. 6 beers, taking the edge off, buying antiques willy-nilly, waking up at fucking 10, going to auctions, and like running a business poorly, loosely, opening 4 days a week and wondering why I'm not successful. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this should work. Oh, hungover, wearing like fucking t-shirts and sweatshorts to work every day. Just being a fucking bum, like depressed, to be fair. I gained like fucking 55 pounds. So I was like a fat mess. And then Sam started making videos. The video where he comes, I smoke on the rugs.
Yeah,
that was when like the lights started to like, hey, we're going to come back into this.
When that was 2018-ish?
That was like 2018. So like 17, like it took about a year off basically. I'm going to start putting some shit out. Sam started putting some shit out. Started working with like Joey. We were still fucking fighting, because it was pretty easy. Like some people blame Sam, you know what I mean? People were like, oh, Sam should have never said anything to Joe Bernstein. And it really wasn't. It really actually wasn't. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have a chance. We didn't have a fighter's chance. But,
I mean, telling someone that hates you that you hate them too doesn't make them fucking hate you anymore.
It shouldn't, but apparently, it does. It was. I didn't blame Sam as much. Chuck was pretty bent out of shape about it, but we made good on it, But there was a time where they were fucking mad at each other, and
the crew disbanded.
Yeah, and like none of us talked. Like we really didn't. Truth be told, we really didn't hang out much. we were kind of all on our own paths. You know what I mean? Like Chuck was streaming a lot and doing what he wanted to do, and Sam kind of like went back to work, kind of like business as usual. Just different peeps, different teams and shit. People didn't want to work with us. We were like untouchable, so people didn't want to fucking be around us. You know?
You guys remember, you were like radioactive in a way.
Yeah. You'd have people like show up to my antique shop that were like OG fans, kids that. I remember there was one kid. I have a book somewhere. He got a pilot on Adult Swim. But he was like, yo, man, you guys are a big inspiration, blah, blah, blah. But like, nice kid, showed up with his mom. And like, I was doing the antique thing and it wasn't making money. Like, it wasn't like bringing home the bread. And I was like, I went back and then I started selling cars again. I pissed into this thing that looked like this. And it was with fake piss. I had a fake piss bladder on me.
A Wizinator?
It was like, I think it was it?
Yeah, I've used one of those before.
Yeah, and I was like, my boy was working at Mercedes. He's like, I'll get you a job here at Mercedes. We need guys. I was like, perfect. I needed the money so fucking bad. Like, we had $50,000 in credit card debt. We were living on credit cards. And I remember going into the drug test place and pissing in this like computer. And I'm like, they're going to find out this is fake piss. There's no fucking way. Like, this is, and like, it was like these two fat black nurses, and they were like, I was doing, you know, any funny white boy knows, just flirt with the flat black nurses. Yeah. Like, and they're always so much fun. They were always like, ooh, and I was like, oh, you know, I was like, damn, this thing is like pissing on a laptop. And they're like, yeah, it kind of does look like a laptop. Shoot. But they put it in the machine right behind me, and I could see like them like reading like if I was going to pass or not. And I was like, oh shit, is that my piss right there? They're like, yeah, you want to see if it passes? And I was like, yeah, you never know. I was in a limousine a couple weeks ago and I think someone had a joint. And like literally like 2 hours before I'm like ripping, you know, blunts. It's like passed. And I was like, oh my God, thank God. And then I went back and sold cars for like 3 years. I got myself out of debt. It was great. Started shooting with Sam Moore.
The PGL started up.
PGL, he ran PGL. Don Jolly, Joey, Chris Lynch started coming around. All these dudes, I don't know any of these guys. I meet Alex Schultz. We shot that in like, when was that?
2020.
2020. Is that COVID or post-COVID?
That was hot. That was during June 2020.
Yeah. Frank Hassel, Don Jolly, like all fun. Like we're having fun. We're shooting like theater of the air stuff, and Sam's still working. Then PGL. Then we started PGL, and then PGL started becoming a thing. And then time ticks on, and then and then PGL starts going for like. Then I start like selling cars and going every Tuesday or every couple of weeks. I'll go do a PGL every couple of weeks. So that was fun.
And then another big thing that started was the Scuffed Realtor streams.
Yeah. So all at once. That was like all at once. That was like right when we got second season. PGL's going. We started doing shamanics. My wife's like, I'm gonna start doing the antiques again. The antiques start like rocketing. We start making like some bread on like the antiques. Like we start selling them. We start making like good money.
Selling online?
Online. We started selling online. We made a website, direct to consumer. And then I'm like, oh, this is good. We're like, fuck it. Let's build a barn. And I started making money at cars. I was making like $200,000 a year selling Mercedes. So I dug myself out of debt, built this barn, went back into debt when I did this, sold a Bitcoin. Like fuck myself, sold a nice $20,000 Bitcoin right in the prime, right when I shouldn't have. And then like just to keep myself afloat because I didn't want to borrow any money from my fucking family because that's not a fucking reality. And then we started doing PGL, and then right all at once, again, bummed out, no money, sell the Bitcoin. Barely get to like this point where this thing is like this. I laid this floor myself. Like I had to do everything else myself. Like a suck dick. Then we get a call. I was on Cameo. I did Cameo. I started doing Cameo, and I made like $4,900 in like a week or something. I was like, this is saving my ass. I needed the money. And then one of the cameos was this dude who was like, yo, I'm rich. I want to make World Peace 2. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Here's my phone number. Call me. I'm like, yeah, maybe. I don't know. He's like, yeah, I'm going to come up to Boston with my dad. I'm like, yeah, sure. Come up to Boston with your dad. Then like a day later, he's like, all right, I'm in Boston. Where are you? And I'm like, oh, shit. And I'm like, yo, Sam, we got to go meet this kid. And it's pretty serious. Like I called him. He's like, all right, well, if he shows up, he shows up. Then we met him. We talked to him. Let's see, like, you know, sussed him out, see if he was real. And it was a real dude. And I was like, look, man, this stuff's like, we had $3 million to shoot World Peace 1. I want to do a new show. And I was like, all right. He's like, it's important. I think it's the most important show in the world. He was like, I almost died and I'll die if I don't make this. I was like, okay, cool. He's like, now why don't you guys come down to Texas? I went down to like, kind of like break bread. Meanwhile, that's when the stream started. The streams had started like 3 weeks before that.
Yeah.
It was nuts. And the streams like were kind of successful right away.
Yeah.
Like we were like, let's go live. And we had like, you know, it was kind of a lot. Like we had people like kind of like 4 years since we kind of seen us on camera. So now we're like out and about.
This was right at the end of 2022, right?
Yeah, right at the end of 2022.
I left Providence in November of 2022, and all of that was just starting to happen right as I was leaving.
Yes, because we should stream.
Yeah.
Streaming is big.
Because my boxing training camp had just finished, and it was kind of like Sam didn't want to box again.
Yeah.
And it was like, what's the next era? Because that was like right after the boxing era.
Yeah, I think it was like eye-opening. I think Sam learned a bunch of shit from dudes when he did his boxing event.
Yeah.
That was like, yo, you guys should do streaming.
I remember Turkey Tom talking to him a ton, telling him like about how lucrative the streaming was.
Yeah. And he came back and he was like, yo, we have to stream. And I was like, all right. And we did a video on the house thing where I basically scared this one house right around here that was $1 million. They're in like peak house shit. And I was like, I could do that over and over again. Like I could do that. I do that when I drink. I talk about real estate all the time. Really interesting side note, right before that started happening in October, a dove landed on my truck. I was really fucked up one day. I was really depressed one day. I was like, God, this is bad. I have a kid. I spent too much money on this barn. I have no money left. I saved a nice pile of money. Then I blew it on this place. I knew I'd be okay with it, but it was like, fuck, I'm broke. I'm broke. I have no money. Like, I'm on credit cards again. It sucks.
Oncoming traffic's not looking so bad, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, maybe, I could crush my head into the deal. And then I have this video of a fucking weird dove landing on the hood of my truck. That was when it was like I started believing in God again. It was crazy. It was nuts. I was like, it was one of those weird things. 2 weeks later, the kid calls me up. He's like, yo, God.
Yeah, you get the budget, you start filming. Yeah, how was the filming process for Extreme Peace?
It was really good. It was exactly like we wanted. I mean, we didn't know how it was going to go. We knew how to shoot a show, which was good because we weren't that rusty because we were shooting. And then Alex Schultz was the first one here. Alex is like, I can do all the work. And I was like, you sure do? This is a lot. And I was finding studios and how do we build sets, and rented a tunnel, and we shot the majority of the season inside these like gigantic tunnels that we rented for as short of money as we could. How long did we officially shoot for?
5 months.
5 months? Yeah. We narrowed down the sketches we were going to shoot. We started like building out sets and getting things and like props, costumes, makeup, people, lights, gear, sound stuff, transport, all this shit, like all kinds of shit. Still streaming the whole time, still podcasting the whole time, shooting this the whole time. It was a lot, but I had a good time.
A fish tank fucking starts going.
Fish tank starts going. That's right.
So much cool stuff happened.
So much shit. Now it's like fish tank,
literally,
kind of being like things being a motherfucker, schedule wise working around. Everybody's kind of working nonstop. Trying to get music acts. Alex Schultz and Alex Luke and Bobby Hacker and dudes running around like maniacs. But Schultz did an army's worth of work running around like a fucking retard. For the most part, we had more problems on the set of World Peace 1, which was a pro-union set. Actually, they shoot non-union and they say they're union. Actually, but we had like more like mishaps of like, my head was banged into a wall. I want to see a lawyer. Like I pushed the one where I'm pushing the kid's head. That kid complained to a lawyer.
Wait for the bullying sketch?
Yeah. That kid I was pushing. Yeah. And he's a big boy. He's like your size. And I was like, dude, you fucking complain to the fucking staff. What are you?
At the moment we're at right now, Extreme Peace is finished. The public's waiting to see it. I haven't seen it yet. You haven't probably even seen it in its finished form.
No.
What are some moments or some sketches that stick out to you when you look back on the season?
It was like a 3 months kind of all blurred together. I was having my second daughter, kind of like the 3 months of shooting and driving to set during the day and like showing up to set and having like 45 people there many times in a row. Like no sketches in particular, more the act of like showing up and like sets are there, 45 people are there on like a fucking email, or 50 or 80. I don't know, what's the most we ever had in the room?
50 to 60.
Yeah, like that was kind of fun, showing up to set every day, and it's like a kind of like a big set, and it's in my hometown of Woonsocket, which is that was the most surreal moment. Like we always said, could we shoot it we always wanted to shoot in Rhode Island just because we knew we'd never get our balls busted. And then like when you actually get to do it, it was like, oh, this is awesome. Getting fucked up with people after the shooting, which is kind of fun. Smoking a shitload of weed with Riff Raff was kind of fun. Like smoking like joint after joint after joint with Riff Raff and getting like this, and then kind of like bonding and like him like taking down his guard and being like totally normal with me and just being Horst. Just Horst the man. Yeah. Which is cool. I've always wanted to be Riff Raff. He's actually mad cool. Like he was like Riff Raff with me, and then he was like, yeah, I like houses and shit. You the one that likes houses? And I was like, yeah, I watch that Scuff Realtor shit. And he was like, come over here for a second. And then we started talking. And then he was like, yeah, I'm trying to buy a house in Florida. Like, I was actually trying to buy like a postmodernist house.
What do you think about this one?
He's like, I was like, yeah, that's a great house. I was like, yeah, I love this shit, dude. I was like, I talk about this nonstop, and I was like, I'm not gonna front. I adore this kind of shit. He's like, yeah, we should do something. I was like, anytime, man. But that was kind of wild. Shooting with getting trying to wrangle people. Like we had a Throw God on. He's a fucking retard. Since then, he's like, oh, I'm gonna fight Sam. Like he's just like he's just like one of these internet personalities that like, you ever work with someone and like for no reason they just like turn on you and like call you back.
Well, yeah, if they feel like they don't get enough out of you or something, and they're like, what's my best angle here? Maybe I'll try to fuck him over.
Exactly. Like when's my video coming out that you shot with me? That kind of shit.
Oh yeah,
that shit. That's happened to us like 10 times.
Yeah, like they start throwing up Instagram stories like "fuck at Brandon Buckingham."
Yeah,
drop the video, pussy. You're like okay.
That like it's kind of like for a guy who I'm like, listen, you should know it takes. Like, when the fuck is it come? Like, shut up, just shut the fuck up. But
they want it out next day.
Yeah, he's like this. Get me coke. It's just like doing coke in a Buffalo Wild Wings bathroom while he's all fucked up. I'm literally a fucking drunk mess, and I'm like, someone get him coke. Just someone get this guy off my back, please. Like he shows up for 2 days straight and doesn't turn off for 40. I'll show you what he was doing push-ups with no shirt on. There's no audience. He's a TikToker who can throw. He was a Division I football recruit who can throw the
NFL sketch that you watched.
Oh, okay.
The guy that wasn't.
He was under the table.
Yeah, no. He's the one screaming.
Oh, okay.
The guy near Sam and Nick, but he wasn't the old guy.
This is him cutting his stomach open when no one told him to, with glass. Is there any blood? No. Cuts himself deeper. Disgusting.
Is that guy for real?
It was like that for 48 straight hours, bro. He is extremely funny. I'll call a spade. He's funny as shit. But he's like level 10, volume up, bass, treble, everything's all the way up, and you're like,
it's draining you.
It's nonstop, and I'm like, please, God, someone get this guy some coke and get him a fucking away from me. So I'm like, fuck it, let's just buy a bag of coke from someone. So coke shows up, and I was like, fuck it, we're in a Buffalo Wild Wings fucking stall. It's just me, him, and Max, just doing key bumps and a fucking oh well.
They said you likened the first day of filming like trying to go into the gym and bench 315. No warm up.
Yeah, it was because it was 8 guys. It wasn't like an easy sketch, and it wasn't us. So it was like no one is good. There's a lot of cameras. There's a lot of new guys. There's 10 new staff. There's 10 new actors and shit like that. You're not in LA, so these aren't actors. These are people who think they're actors. These are people who are trying to act in movies from Rhode Island.
And I saw that footage. You like flip out on one of them.
Yes, you have to flip out. I mean, they thought they're so, like, that's the thing about extras. They think they're so funny.
Yeah,
I forgot about that because we'd be on like the shuttle rides home and in the first season, or in the green room, and you'd hear the extras being like, "That should be a movie that we doing," and you're like, "What?" We had to shut our door and like move the green room.
That's one of the reasons I believed I could be a YouTuber. So you really think you could do YouTube? I'm like, you know how many fucking idiots there are in the world?
Yeah,
like
all of them. Yeah, 95% of them. Like Real Housewives running businesses, the QVC lady on Shark Tank.
Oh, yeah.
She's a human being. She's a fucking moron.
Her and her lotions.
Yeah, she has. I always use my creams, and for that reason, I'm out. Yeah. She's a fucking.
That's so good.
I would love to see her do. I want to play I want to do a geography bee with Lori, whatever her name is, Lori, fucking blonde retard brain tits. I just hope Mark Cuban fucked her up the ass season 2. He's like, come on, you know who's got the real money around here, Lori. And then he just like prone fucked her right up the ass, and like that'd be great.
So yeah, I'll be at the screening out in Austin, so I'll see you there. But I wanted to ask, what's next?
Hopefully, World Extreme Peace 2. That's what I'm looking forward to. Shooting a different method. And we had another idea the other day. I was talking with Sam the other day, and we have a better way to go about it. And not just a different way to go about it, and a different gear on a different size engine with a different note. Same thing, just different way to do it. And I'm kind of excited about thinking about doing it like that.
And continue with the Scuffed Realtor?
Yeah, continuing with Scuffed Realtor is too much fun not to. The market's about to turn. There's too many kids out there that send me like really nice, heartfelt letters that truly have no one. So I've gotten over 500 of them that just dudes who make their first 60 grand or 100 grand and have dad or a dumb slut mom or no one to turn to and talk seriously about a house. And I don't mind being unk. It doesn't bother me. Like, I'm trying to help people out, and it makes me feel good. It does. It makes I think the letters that I've gotten back, so I enjoy doing it so much, and at the pace that I'm doing it, it's not bothering me. And until I don't feel like doing it anymore, I'm gonna keep doing that. Like, I like analyzing real estate all over the country. It's kind of fun. It keeps me sharp. It keeps me on my toes.
Yeah, it's extremely entertaining. So if you guys aren't watching those streams, you can see them on Sam and Nick's
Perfect
channel?
Clips or MDE.TV if we ever go solo there, but YouTube, Sam and Nick's Perfect Clips. And send me a house that you're thinking about buying, and maybe listen, for the price of a sandwich, a fine quality sandwich, hopefully I can save you 6 years of suicidal regret, or maybe being pushed into. There's a lot of motherfuckers that say it's easy to buy things, and there's a lot of bullshit going around that's coming. And the crows are coming home, like these Andy Elliott guys and these Wes Watsons, telling you to do things, and they're full of shit. But kids don't know those guys are full of shit, and YouTubers can say it's fun to say it's full of shit. Those guys are full of shit, telling kids to go take loans out in businesses' names that are 6 hours old.
Yes, we're gonna check out some of your antique stuff in case anyone wants to buy some stuff off Shimonix. We're gonna show some of that.
Yeah. We'll show. I'll give you a tour of the holding facilities,
and then we'll probably drink some booze, and we'll just have kind of a little adventure with Nick in the middle of the episode. Yeah.
I can't wait. I hope you guys like snorting pills, because I got a lot of them crushed up, and we're gonna snort them. I've actually never done it either. I'm looking forward to it. I've got a nice Mercedes wagon out there that we're gonna drive around in, and we're gonna snort some pills.
Stay tuned. So check it out. We're with small business owner Nick Rochefort.
Hey,
tell us about Shimonix.
Well, it's a small antiques company, just a small merchant here. I try to bring you the coolest things. Here, come on over here. These are things that aren't listed yet. By the time we list them, they'll be gone. Hopefully, any of this right here. Any of this post-mod shit, any of this Italian Ettore Satsas, Pee Wee Herman looking stuff like this, right? Could be a teapot, could be a flower pot, post-mod shit, fancy Parisian glass. Love that shit. I don't know if you don't know, it's always been a fun thing of mine. Rugs are also something fun. We're gonna start to sell lamps. We've got thousands of Russian posters direct from Moldova and St. Petersburg, and that's where we keep them. We ship them right to you direct. All rugs are shipped free domestically. Some things are expensive, some things are not expensive. That rug's sold right there, but that big one on top, that's $15,000. That big guy right there. That didn't sell. Yes. That one's not gonna sell. We make our own candles. These are coconut soy wax candles that we are made, even though soy is a bad word in this world, this is the best way to do it. This is no paraffins, no
alpha wax candles.
One whiff of these candles, you can win the UFC welterweight title. But we make them right here. We have a wax melter. We have fragrance made by a fragrance person. It's not easy to make. It's kind of a pain in the ass and kind of expensive. And to make we bought all the cunty candles in the beginning, for research, all the Byredo and the diptychs and all that. Those are $100 a piece, and all these fancy pants things, but we make them, ship them to you. They make them. Jen and Abby, they're the stars of the show. I just scream at them and verbally abuse the employees, and I do like this heavy threat thing where I talk about their wages a lot. You get all the free espresso you can drink, which is like my equivalent of pouring Coke on the table and saying work. There's nothing in the fridge other than White Claws, but those are Abby's.
You're a snack and Nick is hungry.
Yes, if you want to buy any of this stuff, you can peruse their collection at...
Yeah, you can go to SchimonixHouse.com, where you can buy any shirts or anything like that. You can come into my private club. I was going to show you some cool shit. Come on up to the private club.
Holy shit.
Real large ones. I got Frank Stella here with paint on it. Did Frank Stella paint that? Frank, did you paint that? Oh, that's right, you died this year. But if so, that's $1 million. Imagine if I had $1 million painting, that'd be so great. Weird post-mod or all that shit. What are these called? Surrealist paintings from the mid-90s. We got Keith Haring, Satan-worshipping Keith Haring for AIDS. Look at that. Fucking Ettore Satsas. Fucking this shit. This is always the best one. These are my favorites. These are always top sellers. Weird ceramics. Who knows? God. Stupid expensive Murano shit that I don't even understand. But these were in the book. These are like in the museum. Those two candlesticks. Very gay of me.
Yeah, what do these run for?
Those are like $800 or change. Those are like the ones. They're not going to sell. That's not a good item. Not a good price, not a good size. To be honest with you, not even a good deal, but I had to have them. I bought them from the biggest collection. I bought a collection of Murano that was like $21,000 in a random store in Cambridge, Mass. last year. It was all like shit like this. And I didn't even make any money. It was a really bad deal on my end, but I had to have it all. And that was the piece of the La Resistance in the set was these two whack candlesticks. This is Alienware. This is kind of cool. Czechoslovakian pottery from the 1930s that had aliens in it. Thought that was kind of cool. What the fuck is this? I always buy myself one random piece. This is, hold on, it's signed right there. There we go. It looks like Paul Evans. It's not, but it's signed Evans. Ooh, who is it? Oh, yes. Oh, good. Yes, this goes up on this shelf. This is Batuto. This looks like shaved ice. I don't sell any of this stuff. This is my full cunt collection. Very cunty. These are $1,500 a piece, real money. One sold for $9,000. I found these two at a store for $14 a piece. That was my pickup last year of the year. This is this chrome shit from the 1930s. That's gonna come back. Roger Stone loves Chase. Shout out, Raj. I'm paying attention to you. Japanese sake bottles, Japanese shit. And as many rugs as I can afford. I just keep fucking buying them. I buy rugs and paintings and mirrors.
And if they want to buy some of this stuff, they can do so at?
They can do it at ChamonixHouse.com. That's my website. Come there and check it out. New things every Tuesday drop. I buy pretty much like 25 new things drop a week. And we try to sell out every week. So get in there, have fun, bid high, bid often. I'm not trying to fuck you. Shop me to high hell. I'm trying to get you the things that the cunty New Yorkers sell all the time. I pay attention to what these New York. How would I know that? My wife worked for Home Goods and her friends tell me what they buy.
There it is. Check it out.